I was invited to the Bachelorette party for my friend's fiancé. It was over the long weekend at a vacation rental on the beach. There was booze, a hot tub, great food. It was definitely a hit. At one point I was on the deck looking at the ocean, and the bride was drunk in the hot tub with two of her friends. She said she felt more relaxed than she had in a while. I assumed she was referring to wedding planning. One of her friends asked if she was having trouble with the little monster. She said no, that he was manageable for now. At that point I realized they were talking about my friend's son. I took out my phone and started recording them. The bride's friends said horrible stuff about my friend's son, and the bride responded positively to everything, laughing and agreeing. Then she said that it was too bad he wasn't old enough to send to military school. I stopped recording when their topic changed. I don't think they ever realized I was close enough to hear them. When we got back I asked to meet with my friend, and I played him the recording. He was quiet while he listened. After the recording was finished he asked me to send it to him, which I did. Then he asked me to delete it, which I said I would do, but haven't yet. I feel like in a hole for interfering, I really do. However, I'm worried about my friend's son. Depending on what my friend does, I might need to send this recording to the poor boy's family. I feel like I've overstepped, but what else can I do? Story 2, not putting away my copy of The Handmaid's Tale. My 20 uncle and cousin 14 are currently staying with us since their house is going through some repairs. Cousin sleeps in my room. Mom told me to put certain books away since they are inappropriate, so I put them in a small locked drawer. I didn't put The Handmaid's Tale and some of my other dystopian novels there, though. Barely any space left, so I had to pick which ones to lock up. The way I figured it, she probably wouldn't be interested in them, and the book in question full of my distracting, barely legible to anyone else annotations. I studied it for A-level English literature when I was 16 to 17 and my handwriting was atrocious back then. But she did end up getting interested in it. I came home one day to find out that she had been reading it and my uncle had found out and was telling her she is too young. Then he turned to me and berated me, saying it was careless to leave something she is too young for out on the shelf. Story 3, keeping inheritance from birth mother instead of splitting with adoptive siblings. I just found out that my birth mother, who I have never met, left me her whole estate, $180,000. I was adopted at birth by a wonderful family with 2 other adopted kids. My siblings are now saying that it isn't fair I got everything when they also deserve it, being adopted as well. They want to split it 3 ways. My parents are staying neutral, which I can tell is uncomfortable. The thing is, this was my birth mother. She chose to find me and leave me this money. My siblings have their own birth families they could easily have a connection to someday. For me, this feels like my one connection to where I came from. Now family dinners are awkward because my siblings barely talk to me. Am I being selfish keeping money that was legally left to me? Story 4, telling my sister she shouldn't have children. I, 25F, have never been close with my younger sister, 20F, even when we were growing up. Not only did the age gap make it difficult, but so did the fact that she was very clearly favorited by my parents. There's 8 of us in total, and she's the youngest, so naturally she can do no wrong, and my parents have always coddled her a lot. Recently, it's gone to a whole new level. My sister has gone through a bit of a rough patch in life. She experienced a really bad friendship breakup, has been unemployed for a long period of time, and has moved back in with our parents. Normally, I wouldn't think there's anything wrong with this. We all go through times in life, so I am not judging her for any of that. However, I am judging her proposed solution to the problem, which is having a baby. I don't know how, but somehow in her mind she has convinced herself that if she has a baby with her current boyfriend, 22M, it will fix her issues. She's been saying things about wanting to be loved unconditionally, and talking about the government benefits she'd be able to get from having the baby to get back on her feet. Worst of all, my parents are completely supporting this. They're devout Christians and believe that children are a blessing from God, and think that my sister is being guided by Him into making this decision. And after a few weeks of listening to them all talk about how much of a blessing a child would be, I told my sister that a baby should be the last thing on her mind. She dropped out of high school her senior year, and her boyfriend has a degree, but both of them live with their parents and have no stable source of income. I was immediately scolded by my parents, who called me bitter and threw the fact that I don't have any kids in my face. My mom even said to a relative that I'm just jealous that not everyone wants to be alone for the rest of their life in misery like me, referring to me wanting to be child-free. It's caused such a rift between all of us, and now I'm being called on by other members of the family to apologize to my sister because it's really taking a toll on her. I just don't feel that I have anything to apologize for.